Gwen from the Netherlands, and I am also known as the Woody Closet here on YouTube and Instagram, and on Ravelry also. Last time was my very first episode, so this is my second, and I'm still a little bit self-conscious about all this. I have turned the camera around this time, so the quality will probably be better, and I will not see myself, so I think that'll help with the talking and such. I am wearing today my Koivua sweater by Caitlin Hunter, also known as Boyland Knitworks. I made this several years ago, and I used Drops Air for the grey and Vidalana Ambient Worsted knit crate yarn. I used a US 4 3.5mm needle and a US 6 4.0mm needle, and it's lovely and warm. I didn't do the sleeve detail because I thought it would be too much, and I'm very happy I didn't. And I really love this sweater. It's nice and warm and very soft. Today's episode will be about lingering and oh, words, it escapes me. What was I thinking? Works in progress that haven't been seen to in a while. Not that they are forgotten, but I haven't had a feeling of needing to work on them. And the first up is a long-standing whip. It is for my little niece, Nina. She is 2 years old now. She'll be 3 in February. It lives in this house. I bought this from H&M long ago. And in this house I have 2 little deers. This is the girl deer, and this is the boy deer. This is a pattern from Julie Williams from Little Cotton Rabbits. And I'm using all kinds of acrylics because wool and toys for very little children don't mix well together, I think. And you can make them all kinds of clothes. So this girl is wearing a jacket. And a little woolen jumper with cables. And I knit these on US 5, am I saying that wrong? Yes, no, US 4 3.5mm needles. And I use all kinds of acrylics like Stylecraft and Cygnet, mostly from Stash. I've been thinking of doing antlers for the girl deer too, because I've read somewhere girl deer do have antlers, but they just get rid of them sooner than the boys who always have them. And I'm knitting them all kinds of clothes. So this is another jacket I made. It just needs buttons still, I think, because it's not on here. And I made a little dress for the girl. And Julie Williams made all kinds of patterns for clothes, so I can make them some trousers and shirts and even colorwork sweaters if I wanted to, and jackets and dresses, and you name it, she has it. Different kinds of shoes. So they live in this house until it's time for me to give this to her for her birthday. But she's a little too young now because her fingers are little and she's just 2. So I think I have 2 more years to go. Time enough for me to get some more clothes for the deer. Next up is my very, very oldest whip ever. I think I started it in 2016. It lives in this bag. I bought at a sort of well, you can buy curtains and floors and accessories for your home. So, and I put all kinds of buttons on them. I really like this one. Maybe you know what it is. Let me know if you do. And this one. And maybe you also know this one. And in this bag lives a blanket. And it's based on a blanket pattern by Rachele Carmona from Cypress Textiles. It's based on the beach hut blanket. Cedar wood for the moths. And it is almost done. Just the top part to go. If you've been following me on Instagram, you might have seen this. It's a blanket. And I'm not sure if I should keep in the red at the top or not. Let's see if I can. It's quite big. This is my dappled chevron. And it goes from blue to green to brown. And my idea was just a little red here at the top, but I'm not sure. It's made in linen stitch, crochet. And I still think it's beautiful, but there went a ball. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it just yet. So, any thoughts about red? Please let me know in the comments down below. I will be linking everything I talk about down there, by the way, so you can look it up. And I will also link to my Ravelry page. Oh no. See, it's all made from scraps. So, I have a lot to clean up later, but that's for later. I made that blanket on a 5mm H hook, just so you know. What's this? That's cotton. I don't know what it's doing here. I'm also working on the Friesland blanket by Jenisehopeknits. This is a stranded colorwork blanket. I'm using Olivia and Oliver Fibers Advents from 2021 and 2022. And a few extra skeins of eggnog, which is also a colorway by her, by Tam. And I've made 6 hexagons so far, and I have many more to go. But here's one. This is the last one I made. This one is my absolute favorite. This will be the center one. And I hope you can see it because I have no idea. I can't see myself. This is one of the first I made. Which you do twice. Because from one mini skein I can get 2 hexagons. And the rest will go into my Northeasterly blanket, which I will show you in a minute. There's lovely pineapples in the middle there. Okay. So, I use a US 5 3.75mm needle for this. I haven't been working much on it because I had a few test knits, and I'm also working on 2 cardigans that need to be done by Christmas. So these are on hold for the moment. The leftovers from the Friesland blanket go into my Northeasterly blanket, which I keep in this lovely Westknits bag I bought on a whim. Online someday. It's filled with teeny tiny scraps. I hope you can see. Right now I'm adding some Christmas yarn from leg warmers I made for my daughter last year. I am working on the third strip. So it's all kinds of sock yarn, and these are from the Advent for the Friesland blanket. And I am doing things just a little bit differently with the adding to the blanket, because this way you get a really neat edge on the back. I can try to explain. You knit the strip according to pattern. The last 2 stitches you knit together. You slip the last stitch knitwise. You pick up from the previous strip the last stitch, both legs, and knit those 2 together. Then you turn, slip the next stitch, and work for according to pattern again. And that way you get this neat straight edge, which looks very beautiful. I feel like I'm rushing, and I don't want this to be just 15 minutes again, just like last time. I can talk a little bit about myself, I think. I am a stay-at-home mom of a daughter of 10. I used to be a primary school teacher until I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2007. I've been living with it ever since. I'm doing really well at the moment. Of course, there are ups and downs, but I can still walk after all those years. I do have a wheelchair for days where we go to a amusement park or for long walks, and then I can sit in my wheelchair. But I hardly ever use it. I try not to. With me, MS, it's more of intestinal problems, bladder problems, memory problems, finding the right words, focusing, forgetfulness, that kind of thing. So when you're a teacher, you have so many things going on. I just can't keep track of everything. So I'm not able to work anymore. But that's okay, I've got my knitting now. Well, yes. Another long-standing work in progress is something I wrote myself. My very first pattern. It's a crochet pattern. This one is for free available on Ravelry if you want to. It's called Cakes 2 to Tango because you need 2 gradient yarn cakes. People made this with anything they could get their hands on. I think Red Heart has some cakes, Katia has some cakes, Scheepjes has cakes, you know, the whirls. This one's made from whirls. Any gradient yarn cake, you can do it, and you can use whatever hook size gauge you'd like because it's linen stitch and you can make it as big or as small as you want to. And this one's mine. This is the second one I made. The third one is, the first one is, well, it's the worst for wear really, so I'm not wearing that one anymore. Made the first one with Katia, Spring Rainbow. I think I showed it the first episode. But this one is much softer. It's Scheepjes Whirl in Green Tea Tipple and Turkey's Delight. And it's already pretty big, as you can see. Yeah, I usually wear my shawls like this. But I still have lots of yarn left, so I think I'll keep going. And I think it's really pretty with this gradient. I usually take this with me on car rides and holidays and, you know, where I don't need to think when I do this or even look at it, really. And I'm now going into the grey and the pinks. I cut this one, don't know why, can't remember. And this is the tag. It's a cotton acrylic blend. And it's living in this Orla Keely inspired bag by So Happy Creative, I think. I bought it years ago. I think it's time for whips, which of course I forgot. I'll be right back. Why are these not in a project bag, you ask? Because they are active whips and just lying on my couch. That's why. Okay, first off, this is the Entrechat cardigan by Lisa Chemery. I hope I pronounced it right. Also known as Frogginette on Instagram. But I changed it up a bit. Her sizing only goes to 8 years old and my daughter's 10. So I need a bit more length, width. So I decided to change the gauge. I am using a US 4 3.5mm needle and drops baby merino, which is more of a sport weight and not a fingering weight, for which the pattern actually calls. So it's bigger. I also added long sleeves. I finished one and I did a cute I-cord bind off. And there's a detail at the back, which is more like a seed stitch thing, but I wanted something a little more sophisticated for the wedding, because this is a cardigan for the wedding. My brother is getting married the day after Christmas. We have 3 days of Christmas in the Netherlands. We have Christmas Eve, first day of Christmas, second day of Christmas, and on the third day of Christmas, which doesn't exist, I just call it the third day of Christmas, then he will get married with his, well, the love of his life, really. And I got my daughter a sage green dress with white lace at the front and the back, but it has no sleeves, so it's cold, and she needed a little cover. So I did some lace at the back. It's from the Japanese 250 Japanese knitting stitches from Hitomi. Oh God, I forgot her name. Well, you know the one, I'm sure. If you're knitting, you probably heard of it, but I'll link it down below. So, and it fits her. It's just a matter of one more sleeve and then it'll be done. I think it's very cute. And this is the drops baby merino I'm using in a sage color. And for my husband, I was gifted some yarn by Edna, which is an online yarn shop in multiple countries, but I'm working with Edna from the Netherlands. They gifted me this lovely Svarta Fåret garn Ulrika Natur, and it is a lovely chestnut, and the sun's going out. I hope you can still see this. It's a lovely tonal yarn. It has, oh, well, tonal, heathered maybe. There's a red in there and mustard and brown and grey, and it's just stunning. It's a non-superwash yarn. And my husband is very tall, so this is taking forever. But I have finished both sleeves. And now all I have to do is 8 more centimeters on the body. I have like 2 here. And then some ribbing. And then it'll be finally done. And I'll have to block it because it stretches out, of course. It's an offset ribbing. It's, I think they call it alpine stitch. It's a free pattern from Svarta Fåret by Sara Klint for Svarta Fåret garn. You can find it on the Edna website. I will link it below. Okay, those were my whips. I have notes. Then I have bought something. I heard lots about this. It's I-cords, no, not I-cords, knitting barber cords. This one is from the Knitting Barber. And you can use these to put your stitches on hold for sleeves. This is what I would use them for, because I have a long cable with a connector on it, so I can put that cable from Haya on my project and slide all the stitches over without worrying they'll pop off. And you can try on your sweater, because these I don't trust them yet, because you pop the end on your needle and then you scoot all your stitches over them. But I tried it once and they all fell off. So I think I'll just use them for putting stitches on hold for sleeves. But I don't know, they smell really bad. Has anyone other than me have this issue? I put them somewhere far away so I can't smell them with the tin open, so I'm hoping it'll dissipate, but for now, it really makes me nauseous actually. But I'm hoping it'll go away with time. Be right back. I have knitting plans for fall. These 2 items are almost done, but I can't cast anything new on because I am waiting for Stephen West's Geogradient shawl. I am using these 4 colors, like I showed you last time, by Drops Fable. I've been seeing all these color combinations and I still really love mine. Are you joining in? Please let me know. And other than that, I really want to make the Moorland cardigan. I'll try and pop in a picture if I can. I haven't done it before, so we shall see if it works. And I'm going to do that in this lovely Newton colorway called Lola. This is yarn from Honor of Air. I was a patron for a while, but now I have so much yarn, I stopped for a bit. But this is a lovely grayish purple. And the Moorland cardigan has a beautiful leaf lace detail on the sleeves. I am just not going to make it a cardigan. I'm not much of a cardigan person. I'm going to make it into a sweater. And when I've split for the sleeves, I am going to work just a little bit more on the body, and then I'll do the sleeves first and knit up the rest into the body and maybe do a split hem, and that'll be that. This will be the 3rd sweater I make with Newton yarn. The first one was beautiful. It was the Flower Posy from Melody Hoffman, one of those. And it was beautiful, but it kept shedding. So I tried washing it, which was fine, but still it was shedding a lot. I think my gauge was just too large for this yarn, for it to work. And so I tried to wash it a second time, but I did something wrong on my washing machine and it felted completely and it was totally ruined, and it was so sad. I worked so hard on it and then I had nothing. And the second one I made was a sweater by Albina, and now I can't remember the name, of course, but it was work bottom up, and I'm not much of a bottom up fan because I never know when to stop or adjust things for raglans, because it was a raglan sweater and the raglan was just too deep for me and it was uncomfortable, but still it was a lovely sweater. So I gifted it to my mom and she really loves it. She lives in it, she says. So I'm glad it has a happy home, but I still have no Newton sweater. So I'm hoping the 3rd time is a charm. We shall see. And then I have to make myself also a cardigan for my brother's wedding, because my dress also has no sleeves. I am going to make the Robinson wrap cardigan by Florence Miller, or handmade by Florence. I'll pop a picture in if I know how it works right here. And I'll be using this Drops Cotton Merino in a dark green. I hope you still can see it because the light went a little bit away behind the clouds. And I'm thinking about doing a little bit of embroidery on it, maybe, if I have time. We shall see. Okay, so I feel like I've been running through this, racing through this. I hope I didn't. I'll try and talk more slowly, I guess. I hope you like this video. I hope you will give it a thumbs up and subscribe maybe. I'm planning on doing this any chance I get. It won't be weekly, I don't know. Maybe I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.